in the car, me and the wife easing down the block. She driving, I'm chilling. I'm gonna take you guys along this morning, go see my boy City Red here in Tuskegee. Get cut up real quick, get brought back to life, as I like to call it. I'm gonna dive into a vlog today that I think it'll be very helpful, because we get a lot of questions through social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all the places that we're active, and I don't always get an opportunity to answer them all. But I keep seeing one in particular question keep popping up. Everybody's asking this same question. So today, I'm gonna answer that question for you. I hope this helps you all out. That's one of the main reasons I created a YouTube channel, just so I could, you know, be out there, show you guys different tips, techniques as far as fishing, but also answer questions that will help you guys become better anglers. And in some cases, literally just get started as an angler. So we're gonna dive into it here in just a moment, but first, gotta get faded. Buckle me up to my safety seat. Yeah, we rolling. All right, we just got done getting a haircut. What y'all think? Yep, I'm back. I'm right back into it. Number one question I get asked on all my social platforms is, Mark, how did you become a professional fisherman, or how did you get started fishing tournaments? That's the number one question I get asked day in and day out on social media. So today I want to take just a quick moment of time to start to explain to you guys how that happened for me. My story is going to be different from everybody, but I think it's very easy to get started in general. I think people overcomplicate it. Once again, they see us out here on tour and they see the wrap boats and the trucks and all of the, you know, the glitz and glamour side of it, and kind of get disattached from the basic bare essentials of just fishing, really. And that's how we all got started. So for me, I got started out in a bass club when I was about 12 years old, me and my dad. All right, so when I was about 12, me and my dad got started in a bass club, Bass Anglers in Northern California. Shout out my boys in Bank, it's abbreviated as Bank. That was my introduction to tournament bass fishing, and it was really cool because Bank was more like a family, you know what I mean, versus like a tournament organization. It was a club that had rules and regulations just like any other tournament organization, but it was, these guys are like my uncles, you know, so they wanted to help me out, they wanted to teach me things, they wanted to show me different techniques and things like that, and that really helped me, because when when you're a kid, 11, 12 years old, you don't got a clue, not to mention the etiquette side of the game. Make sure you always, pitch in for gas, make sure you're not cutting off your boat or casting in front of them. Just simple little etiquette, things, principles that we use out on the boat that you would never know if you just jumped in a boat with somebody. So a bass club, I think joining a bass club at a young age or even an older age, it doesn't matter if you're new to tournament fishing or you want to get into it, I think that's an excellent way to get introduced to the game, because you're going to learn small little simple things about the game that you would have never learned just jumping straight into, like, let's say a BFL. Okay, now fast forwarding, you've done the club thing for a while, you're wanting to jump out there and get a better taste, a stronger taste of the tournament game. Now you need to start thinking about organizations such as the TBF Bass Federation, FLW BFLs, Bassmaster has Federation Nation. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. There's so many different avenues out there. But again, we overcomplicate it. So get on your phone, get on your computer, get on Google machine, literally type in tournament fishing. I mean, so simple. And then you can get even more specific to the area in which you live. I think the Bass Federation, or Federation Nation on the Bassmasters side, however, these are excellent grassroots, beginning level tournaments for people to, again, get their feet wet. They don't cost an arm and a leg. That was always what was most attractive to me. I jumped into Federation because for $120, I was all in a tournament for a weekend, and I could compete, and then I had an opportunity to move on, right? So being from out in California, we had our qualification tournaments, which were $120. Then you had your state championship, which I don't even think there was an entry fee for that at the time. Then it went to Western Divisionals. These are all qualification events that didn't cost you money, but you continue to move up the ranks, if you will, in the grassroots fishing, which ultimately led to me making it to Grand Lake of the Cherokees and winning the national championship. That is how I got into the game. Now, there are guys who are more experienced. They're going to want to jump right into something more serious like the Toyota Series or the Bass Opens, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I wanted to speak more to the guy who's confused at home, like, man, I want to fish tournaments, but I don't have a clue what to do. Get on your phone, type in the Bass Federation, type in BFLs, type in grassroots fishings, type in local bass clubs. These are excellent ways to get your feet wet in the game. And my one tip for a very serious tournament angler, or somebody that wants to become a serious tournament angler, is going to be this. Always try to fish events that lead you somewhere. And let me explain what I mean by that. So like weekend tournaments, buddy tournaments. I fished them for years. I absolutely loved them. I had a great time fishing buddy tournaments. Problem with buddy tournaments are they're regional and they don't lead to anywhere. So you fish that weekend, you win $1,200, you win that tournament. That tournament victory doesn't lead you anywhere. Now, you got great tournament experience. You made a few dollars, so it wasn't, it wasn't like a loss, but you didn't move forward anywhere. So what I'm getting at is, like, in a TBF event, you fish the qualification rounds, then you qualify to the state championship. So you qualify to another tournament, boom. Then from the state championship, you qualify to the divisional. Then from the divisional, you qualify to the nationals. You're always taking a smaller step forward to becoming a professional or to competing on a national scene. That was always my mindset when I was doing this. Even though I was doing it on a very small level, I was always thinking, like, how can I get to the next phase in this tournament game that could potentially lead to me doing this full time? And so all the while, I'm still taking care of my family. I'm going to work every day, but I am fishing events that potentially can take me on and on. And through these TBF tournaments, man, I've traveled all over the western United States. I only came back east the one time, which was Grand Lake of the Cherokees, and thank God I was able to win that tournament because that's what got me to where I am today. But again, just fishing events that will take you elsewhere other than just local weekend tournaments. You win a couple $100 and you come back and do it again next weekend. Those are cool. Nothing, I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying that's not gonna give you any growth in the game. So look at that. I'll try to include some links in the description that will take you guys to these sites that I'm talking about. It's actually quite simple. You just pay a membership and then you put up your entry fee for these events, and then you go from there. Another option too. I know a lot of you guys don't have boats. That was me. I didn't have a boat at first. I was a bank beater and a co-angler, or we called them non-boaters. That was another avenue for me. If you don't have a boat, don't worry about it. That's what the co-angler division is for. Another excellent learning experience is to be a co-angler for a year, 2 years, 3 years, however long it takes, to where you feel like you've got the knowledge and the experience and the financial backing to go ahead and jump up to the pro or the boater side because this game is very expensive, unfortunately. But yeah, that's another great avenue. And all of these tournaments that I've spoken to you about all have co-angler divisions. TBF, BFLs, Federation Nation, Toyota Series, Bass Opens. These all have co-angler positions. So you do not need a boat. I want to emphasize that. You do not need a boat. So don't go looking at my Ranger thinking you got to have one of them to compete. You don't. You can join someone like myself or another professional or semi-professional and enroll with them. That's my 2 cents on the number one question I get asked: how did I become a professional angler? I'm hoping this helps somebody out. I'm sure it has. But use your resources, use the internet. It's like the greatest tool these days. Hop on there, see what's available local to you, whether it's a bass club or a grassroots tournament organization like Bass Federation, BFLs, anything like that. Don't be afraid to jump in these. Don't be afraid to ask questions. But put your money up, jump into something, start learning, and let's catch these bass.